Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wrestling Flashback Radio, Episode 4, technically 1. I am your host, Connor, as always, with Liana, and I hope you guys enjoy the introduction that gets played here in the beginning, the new Wrestling Flashback intro, along with some Macho Man. But, we're here tonight. We're going to talk about some legendary promos, some Mike Masters, because that's what we talk about on this podcast. This is wrestling related, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as always, the crowd is going to see my YouTube for a second, but I'm going to move it over here because I'm going to share my screen later. So, we are talking about great promos. We're talking about great Mike Masters, great promos, and we got on the topic of WCW and everything like that. So, before we share anything, before we watch anything, what is one promo, Liana, that stands out to you, the test of time, anytime you think of pro wrestling? What is the first promo that comes to your mind?
I don't have a specific one, but anytime when World Championship Wrestling, when it was just getting out of the Jim Crockett promotions, and when Ric Flair would take the mic, magic. Just magic. Like, I mean, he had everything. Like, his whole promo about the alligator shoes and the $1,000 Rolex and the suits and everything. It was
Custom
money. It
made
was magic.
suits, the $30,000 alligator shoes, the $5,000 alligator belt, the 10 pounds of gold. I know a guy that can do a really good Ric Flair impersonation, and it makes me very angry because he's the one wrestler I can't do an impersonation of. I got like Hogan and I got Mach. I can't do anybody else. But the first thing that ever comes to my mind when people talk about like professional wrestling, the first promo that comes to my mind, honestly, is either Hard Times by Dusty Rhodes, or it is for some reason it is the Cream of the Crop promo, and it's because I do a very good Macho Man impersonation.
The cream of the crop, like when you
Yeah,
watch it, it's hilarious, but at the same time, you believe him.
yeah, because he's like, the cream always rises to the top, and I am the cream of the crop.
Yes.
I don't know. I always loved Macho Man, and it's like, it's one of those things where like everyone talks about being a Macho fan in the '80s, in the early '90s. I did not jump on the Macho Man bandwagon until the whole "What up, Mach? Ooh yeah!" I loved that. The Madness Macho Man was the best when he was teaming
I
up with
mean,
Sid
like,
Vicious and shit.
I remember, like, when that happened, when he made the jump to to the NWO and he became the Madness. I remember when all that happened. Like, I was watching it as it happened, but I remember him in the late '80s, early '90s as the Macho Man.
See, and
You know,
everyone talks about how good the Rodman and Hogan versus Malone and Page match was. No one talks about the Macho Man versus Dennis Rodman brawl that happened at Road Wild when Macho Man gets put in a. I think they both do it actually. I think they both take the dump where they get put in the porta potty, and the other one dumps it over. I want to say it's Macho Man. No, I think it is Rodman. It is Rodman that gets locked in it, and they dump the porta potty on him. And it was a really good match because like Rodman was like getting the shit kicked out of him by Macho Man, and it was just a really good match. And the build up was good because Rodman had kidnapped Gorgeous George, and Gorgeous George admitted she liked black men better than she liked Macho Man, and Macho Man was not having it. It was a very racist angle if you actually look back on it and you watch it now. Macho Man was a very racist individual in that segment, but it was a good match, and I loved. That's what made me fall in love with Macho Man. Not that I'm a racist, but that whole thing with how he handled himself, and that was like, I was like, I fucking love Macho Man. And he's like, I'm gonna kick your getaway ass, Rodman.
Well, okay, so we were gonna talk about promos and stuff like that, but we got to talking about the Macho Man. We talk about Randy Savage, and I was like, hey, let's go ahead and start recording. And so, like, my exploration, like, and I know that you can attest to this, is that I don't just watch wrestling, I explore it. I'm very, I deeply love wrestling, like,
Oh yeah.
And I didn't just fall in love with Randy Savage in the 80s and 90s. I followed his career into, when he was in TNA. And then a couple of years ago, I found St. Louis wrestling, and that probably 5 or 6 years ago, when I moved in here into this studio. I call it this studio because even though it's a house, I've had different studios, with many different setups, and that's another podcast in itself. Um, you can't even see my collection from here. Um, so, but I got into St. Louis wrestling. I got into even seeing some of Lonnie Poffos, before he was a genius, you know. So, like, I got into, when Randy Savage was, he wasn't the Macho Man yet. He was just Randy's. Yeah, I remember, like, watching, like, the Best of St. Louis. I think it was Volume 2, where he was Randy Poffo. He wasn't Savage yet. So I've gotten to know a little bit more, but he was still talking like this.
Because he's the Macho Man, the madness, the cream of the crop. But I was sitting there, and I was when we initially brought up the idea of talking about promos on this show, it was funny because I was about to list like my top 5 favorite promos, and I was like Rock and Austin, Rock and Cena, Rock and Hogan, and I was like, I just realized that every single one of those had The Rock involved, and I think I'm a big Rock fan.
Yeah. We were talking off podcasts about some of our favorite promos, and we were talking about the woo off
The
between
woo off
Lethal
of
and
Jay
Flair.
Lethal and Flair, yeah.
Yeah, and then we talked about The Rock going off on the NWO, and how, even though it was short and concise, and you can't really call it a promo, but
Speaking of that,
it was. That's in my top 5 favorite Rock moments.
you know what? Hold on. We're gonna. Discord is gonna experience this as well. I'm gonna full screen this.
That's just a little bit of pain.
Hey, it's The Rock. Come on, guys. Hey, wow, it's our people's champ.
I'm a baller.
Hey, this is my son's favorite wrestler. Really?
Hey, how about a shot? Come on.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Picture with The Rock
Yes, sir.
for your son. Yeah. No problem.
Here's man.
Okay, you guys get in there. Ready? That's a good one.
So much for the people's taste.
What'd you just
What'd
say?
you say?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what you just said. See, you shouldn't have said that. Rock was being a man, no problem. Picture for your son, no problem. Rock will tell you what you can do with that camera. You, Chico, Razor Ramon. You take that camera and shut it up real nice. And then what you do, you give it to your big buddy. Big Daddy Cool, Diesel. You turn it sideways, and then you give it to him. Give it to Hogan. Hogan, you take that camera. It's already shined up, turn sideways, eat your vitamin, say your prayers, and stick it straight up all your candy asses!
one of the best, hands down, promos I've ever seen. Alright, so you did the Rock NWO. I'm going to try to see here. I'm trying to think of one specific promo that.
Oh, dude. If you go back up top, Harley Race wasn't like magic, but when he spoke, he was wow.
Oh yeah, he was good. You know what? We're gonna watch it.
On the main event tonight on SmackDown, still to come, folks. The
When he was the king.
match. Mistreatment of Linda McMahon continued with Triple H and Stephanie earlier on.
I want you people to take a good look at what you see in this ring. I've been in the World Wrestling Federation for 7 years. And in that 7 years, I have kicked, scratched, clawed, screwed people over to get to where I am today.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
I am married to one of the most powerful women in the world.
This is my favorite Stephanie, by the way.
Oh yeah, this Stephanie is the best.
And physically and mentally, I am superior to anyone else that dares to step in this ring. And there is nobody that can stop me. I am not only on top of the mountain, I am the damn mountain. But at WrestleMania, in the main event, wrestling for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, it will be The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin
For the WWF title.
This is when he was at his absolute best.
Yeah, two men that you praise. But your cheers cannot erase the fact that I have beaten both their asses.
That he's done.
Now I have earned respect, and I damn sure well demand fear. And I would like it explained to me
The crowd cheering for The Rock coming alive.
I would like it explained to me how you can be the best, how you can beat every single person that there is to beat and still not be in the main event at WrestleMania.
Wait a minute, what's this?
I missed this
The
stage.
Undertaker?
I missed this stage.
Dead man walking.
What a reaction for Dead Man!
Two things. First, I don't know if you realize it or not, but you're trespassing on private property.
Oh boy.
You see, when you walk through here, through these ropes,
You're in my yard.
you're in my yard. And I can tell you this,
You don't want to.
you don't want to be here.
Uh-oh.
bad things happen in my yard. Bad things have been happening here for a very long time. I think they call it
What do you call it?
a decade
decade
of destruction.
Of destruction.
10 years of kicking butt.
Hell, you ought to know that better than anybody else. Because while you were scratching and kicking and clawing and screwing your way to the top of the mountain, you see, I was burying people underneath that mountain, making it bigger all the time. Now that brings me to my second point. Yeah, you've come a long way in 7 years. You play the game real well. In fact, there may be a day where you even run the yard. But this ain't your day, boy.
Boy.
He didn't call him boy, or he didn't call him Roy, he called him boy.
Now, I heard you say you beat The Rock, you beat Austin, you beat this guy, you beat that guy. Yeah, that's real good. Good for you, Triple H.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let you in on something. I ain't the people's champion. I ain't no rattlesnake. I'm the dead man.
If you try me, I'll make you famous.
And if you try me, I'll make you famous.
I loved it when he said that.
I know.
I loved it when he
That's
said
the
that.
shit, yeah.
Because it's like this, little man. You ain't ever beat me. Now, I don't like you. I don't respect you. And I sure as hell don't fear you. But seeing how you're standing in the middle of my yard, I will break you.
Triple H trying to reason with The Undertaker.
You can't blame him.
Triple H trying to cheap shot The Undertaker, and The Undertaker with the right hand, and The Undertaker unloading on the game.
As he said, it's his yard, Cole.
The Undertaker dominating his yard, tossing Triple H.
What a bump.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk
So
about that
let's yeah. I was gonna say let's talk about that one. So if I can go first, I would
Yeah, go
love
ahead,
to some observations that I had is that I'm gonna stop watching the stream.
We got more to go, but
I kind of wanted to look at you while
yeah.
saying that. So one of the things that I noticed is that Triple H kept doing this, trying not to smile.
Yeah.
Because he was in the ring with The Undertaker.
Well, not only that,
but that had to be huge for him.
And this is still
because he's at the top of his game, and he's in the ring with The Undertaker, and he's about to go to WrestleMania with The Undertaker.
And this is like, this is young American Badass Undertaker, because he's only been in this gimmick for like a year.
If that.
No, because he came in at Judgment Day of 2000, so it was April of 2000, and this is April of 2001.
2001.
So this is a year of being the American Badass, and he's like still like honing his craft with it. And he doesn't do this run long, which is hilarious, because I feel like when I look back on it, I feel like this gimmick lasted forever. but it lasted like 3 years, and that was it.
And honestly, without getting off topic, Ministry Undertaker and the American Badass are my two favorite.
I like the Ministry just because of the entrance song.
Yeah.
Because it was like they did like the whole.
You like Ministry or Corporate Ministry?
Ministry. Anytime Taker wasn't like the head guy, I was mad. Because I loved the Ministry, and then when they threw Vince in the middle of it, and then he had to work for Vince, I wanted to see Taker get his ass kicked, but I was all like, man, I don't want to see Taker get his ass kicked. And he had that weird shit going on with his hair, too, because like it was like brown, and then it was red, and then it was black, and then it was fucking... I was like, pick a hairstyle, bro. And then he did the weird shit with his goatee when he was the Ministry. He just had like that goatee.
I love his goatee. Oh my god,
so
that was
weird
beautiful.
for him, because like for us, we've always known him as like beard, or like the light beard, you know. And then just all of a sudden one day, bam, it's a goatee. That's what you get, guys. And he used it forever.
Goatee was iconic. I loved it.
I mean,
I have a Ministry Undertaker sitting over there, and he's got the goatee.
And it's funny because like this is a young Triple H and young Taker, and this match still stands the test of time because this is going to WrestleMania 17 in the Astrodome. Or no, they're in Houston, so not the Astrodome, but they're in Houston for WrestleMania 17. The main event's Rock and Austin. They co-main event it, and people still talk about that match to this day. It is the most watched WrestleMania.
Okay, so this WrestleMania was either I was brand new in the business. I don't even think I was in the business a year when this WrestleMania came out. Because I remember the reason I remember is because I was with Chris and Charlie, and I remember being with Chris and Charlie, which didn't last long.
Yeah.
Because it became Chris and Bull. So.
Alright, so the next promo, obviously we gotta take a trip down memory lane here. And I have two promos regarding the Rhodes. But we have to watch this one to understand why I'm gonna watch the next one. So
hold on.
Back it up. Let me know when you're in here.
Okay. Hold on.
You ready?
Oh, God.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And Dusty, your fans welcome you back, man.
First of all, I would like to thank the many fans throughout this country that wrote cards and letters to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, while I was down. Secondly, I want to thank Jim Crockett Promotions for waiting and taking the time, because I know how important it was. Starcade 85, it is to the wrestling fans, it is to Jim Crockett Promotions. And Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, with that weight, got what I wanted. Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion. I don't have to say a lot more about the way I feel about Ric Flair. No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time. And Ric Flair, you put hard times on this country by taking Dusty Rhodes out. That's hard time. And we all had hard times together. I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big. My hand is just a little big. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad. And there were 2 bad people. One was John Wayne and he's dead, brother. And the other one's right here. Nature Boy Ric Flair. The world's heavyweight title belongs to these people. I'm gonna reach out right now. I want you at home to know my hand is touching your hand for this gathering of the biggest body of people in this country, in this universe, all over the world now, reaching out because the love that was given me, and this time I will repay you now because I will be the next world's heavyweight champion on this Hard Time Blues Dusty Rhodes Tour 885. And Ric Flair, Nature Boy, let me leave you with this. One way to hurt Ric Flair is to take what he cherishes more than anything in the world. That's the world's heavyweight title. I'm gonna take it. I've been there twice. This time when I take it, Daddy, I'm gonna take it for you. Let's gather for it. Don't let me down now, because I came back for you, for that man up there that died 10, 12 years ago and never got the opportunity to see a real Wolf champion. And I'm proud of you, and thank God I have you. And I love you. Love you!
All right, so before I move on to the next promo,
Okay, so
the most iconic
I
promo
gotta-
in
no.
pro wrestling.
no,
I said one of the most.
not Dusty at his best. No, I'm sorry. I have to disagree. Like, it's iconic because it's Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes, but this is not Dusty at his best.
Well,
This
I'm not
is
saying it's
everybody.
Dusty at his best.
The thing is like, you got to realize when this happened, this got shoved down everybody's throat.
Well, yeah.
Because Dusty, no. What you don't understand was that Dusty was shoved down everybody's throat, and it was like, this is when I started really liking the heels. I was pulled for Ric Flair. I was not like Dusty. Dusty was never believable. I don't say never believable, but Dusty back in the 80s wasn't believable to me. I
loved the Hard Times promo, and here's why. So, when Cody left, or was released by the E, he did what his dad did. He went to every independent promotion in the country and wrestled at least one match in every independent promotion. Made more money outside of the E than he ever did with them. Became a phenomenon. So it's Double or Nothing. It's the very first Double or Nothing. The very first match announced is Cody versus Dustin. And here's the promo.
I love my brother. I have always loved my brother. When you're a little kid and you're going to the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, and here he comes, tall, blonde, every woman in the place going absolutely nuts for him. I'd say at one point he was my hero. You know, there's this regular jilted and lazy trope commentators in wrestling will use. You'll hear them say, the prodigal son. And I have to wonder, I'm curious, who out there listening actually understands the morals and the implications in Luke 15:11 in that parable?
Oh.
There's two brothers. One does everything right. One works very hard, tries to keep his family whole. The other goes abroad, whores about, and makes every conceivable wrong choice you could possibly make. But it's the first brother who is equally in the wrong because he has an expectancy from the father for all his good deeds, and none of it mattered. The father loved them the same. I've sat on enough couches telling my story to know which brother I am. I'm good with it. And this notion of brother versus brother, of natural versus nightmare, it's all very marketable, it's all very romantic, albeit not very accurate. What's accurate is that this match is generation versus generation. I am not here to kill Dustin Rhodes. I'm here to kill the Attitude Era. My entire lot, my whole class of peers has been compared to these gilded late 90s through the early 2000s for over a decade, and it's an utter sham. Sure, you paved the roads for us, but gosh, you set the speed markers at 35 because you are terrified of any of us putting our foot down on the pedal. You mean to tell me some pissant bodybuilder making every match a no DQ, meandering around the crowd, throwing the jib cam at his opponent compares with a Kenny Okada match? Or some bra and panties spectacular can match up with what the women did last September 1st? Or even Dwayne, as electric as it was, rhyming and raising, was it really better than what Punk said sitting on that stage? Listen, I am the least Rhodes of the Rhodes. But they gave me a pair of boots. I've got the basics. When you do something to death, when you ride something to death, that's literally what happens. When that animal can't go anymore and it falls out on the trail and you can feel the tension in its eyes, in its fluttered breaths of panic, and it knows it's going to die, and it wants to die. You don't just leave it because you love it. You pull from the hip. You roll your fingers on the steel of the chamber. You pull the hammer back. You do not anticipate the recoil, and you blow it away. Like I said, I love my brother.
That.
The best. Yes, now hold on. Do you remember when we watched the Bash the Beach, when Arn Anderson turned on Dustin? At the next pay-per-view was Clash of the Champions. Dustin needed a partner, and Dusty came back. And Dusty asked him to be his partner, like he didn't want Dustin to have to ask. Do you remember that promo where he goes, "You seal it with a hug and a kiss, baby, and you let me be your partner"? Watch this.
Yeah.
Hold on. You don't get to...
Oh, I remember this.
You don't get that.
I want to relive it.
Because I got to ask you a favor. In front of God and the whole world. Before AEW was a thing, before we filled this place up, it was me, it was Kenny, it was Matt, it was Nick, it was Tony. And I put my name on a piece of paper for our show next month in Jacksonville for Fight for the Fallen. You know what the match that I put my name down on? It was myself and a partner of my choosing. Against what I think is the best tag team in the world, the Young Bucks. But Dustin, I don't need a partner. I don't need a friend. I need my older brother.
When I first saw this, because I watched this pay-per-view, I bought this pay-per-view, and when I first watched it, I was all like, no fucking way, because I remember the Dusty promo with him and Dustin, when he asks Dustin, he's like, stop looking for all the scum-sucking dogs back there that want nothing for you, that just want to use you and take from you. Let me be your partner. And I was like, that is fucking the callback. I don't know. I love when there's a callback. Like, that was Cody. I don't know. Cody on the mic is just... I have one more Cody promo to show you, just to, like, explain how good I think Cody is on the mic.
We've talked about this. I know you have an announcement that's weighing heavy on you right now. Please tell us all what that announcement is.
I'm not surprised. We're not surprised. The arrival of Chris Jericho with the Inner Circle, it's been blunt. Or to use a more apropos term, it's been strategic. They have taken a scalpel to the elite. But it's a short victory lap, men, and here is why. We were already looking for you. We looked within our own club at one point. We have searched all over the world for a card that we could put our names on and match up with Matt and Nick Jackson, with Kenny Omega, with Hangman Adam Page, with myself, hell, with my brother.
Did it pause for you?
Huh? It didn't pause for me. I just paused it.
Oh, you paused it?
I just did.
Okay, so something went... Okay.
So, we were looking and you found us. November 9th, this Saturday, I find myself on the marquee with our AEW World Champion, Chris Jericho. Tony and I have talked about it. He knows what I'm about to announce, but before I do, humor me, I'm going to go on a bit of a detour and rattle off a few names. Eddie Graham, Cowboy Bill Watts, the American Dream, Dusty. Titans in our business. They were the best bell to bell, and they were the best at the box office. And for those who saw them with their own eyes, those memories reverberate in their heart. It is a good feeling. It is positive. But for the cold and sterile historians of our business, there's an air of controversy that surrounds it. It's from the simple fact that those men were also, in addition to being competitors, they were management. Not unlike myself. And for the last year, I've told everybody, every podcast, every radio, every correspondent, I've shouted it off the rooftops how proud I am of AEW, how proud I am of the all-inclusive nature, of the schedule, of the pay, of the fact that we will listen. This is Ellis Island for a professional wrestler. This is freedom. So, when I hear the same criticism attached to my name for being management and being in a title match, I can't not hear it. And with that said, I am announcing that if I do not defeat Chris Jericho at Full Gear, I will never challenge for the AEW World Championship again. Chris Jericho, that is a very big if. It's not an encumbrance. It's not an albatross that is going to sit on your chest and weigh you down. It is going to vanish. You've taken to calling my lot entitled millennials. You've called me an entitled millennial bitch. I neglected to read in your best-selling book, A Lion's Tale, which you can get on Amazon for $3 or at any flea market. I neglected to read about the upbringing you had that was so hard. You talked about my silver spoon. Gosh, it must have been so difficult being the upper-class son of a famous hockey player. It is almost like we shared the exact same silver spoon, you stupid dick.
Wow, Cody.
You've dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you. And you've surrounded yourself with impressionable youth. This isn't about my dad. This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable. At full gear, I beat you. I become the world champion, and you fall back into your circle, your inner circle, and you let them know the ground should be rumbling between their feet because the elite are coming. And when the elite and the inner circle square off, it'll be a match beyond, and we are going to eat you alive.
Delivers every time. I don't know if it's because he's Dusty's kid, but like something happened to where he just, because in Ring of Honor I really wasn't buying his promos, and then like AEW becomes a thing and he's just firing off just every time he grabbed the mic. It was something great. But I think we got time for one or two more promos. So do you have anything you want to watch and talk about?
I really want to say that, like, I mean, I'm kind of trying to figure out where you're going with this Cody thing, because I'm thinking that you're trying to compare Hard Times to Cody, and that may not be the point, but what I'm saying is Cody was on fire. Like, there's no denying how good Cody is. And honestly, I'm going to get crucified for this, but Cody, I think, is better than his father.
So, no, the only reason why I anytime, like, I hear Hard Times, like, I have to go watch a Cody promo is because Cody...
They're all in the line.
Yeah, Cody delivers. Hard Times delivered. Cody delivers. And it was the double...
I don't think promo. Hard Times delivered. Hard Times wasn't, like...
In my opinion, it delivered, but every time that I've heard Cody,
you go look at that Ric Flair promo from that time. I don't care what it was, when it was. You go look at that Ric Flair promo, and he's talking about, jet flying. Yeah. I mean, oh my God, just seeing him.
And right here, the world's heavyweight
this is not it.
But, always...
Hold on, let me see.
This is not it. 1985. Okay, so Dusty Rhodes talks about, go back up. Dusty Rhodes talks about Hard Times, Mid-Atlantic, October 29th, 1985. Now find Ric Flair's 10/26, 1985. Go back down. Scouting report, go back up. Go back up. Scouting report.
We're back at Pro Wrestling Illustrated Scouting Reports.
Oh my God,
and we're going to have an interview with the American Dream, Dusty.
I love
You amaze me. You still insist upon talking upon a has-been. A man who is not competing in our sport right now. A man who may never compete in professional athletics, period, again, much less professional wrestling.
Well,
what's this deal you got for Dusty Rhodes? He's done. He's not competing at present time. Why waste important time in our program to talk about a man like Dusty Rhodes, who's finished? He's a has-been.
Well, you probably think that we have a videotape of Dusty Rhodes. However, we're now going to go live to Dusty Rhodes' home and speak with him. Hello, American Dream.
Bill Apter, it's real good to see you and talk to you here live from my home. I got two statements to make, two things to say, and I'll get off this program that is your program, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. You're talking to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, because for the last 10 years he has dominated the sport of professional wrestling. You're talking to him because you, as a sports writer and a bill of magazines, the greatest wrestling magazines in the world, for the last 10 years, no man has graced to cover your magazine more than Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Not because we're friends, it's because Dusty Rhodes sells more magazines. No promoter has called Dusty Rhodes and just wanted him because he was a friend. They called Dusty Rhodes because he is the greatest single box office attraction in this country today. And now we're sitting here talking about my injury and everything. Let me tell you something. This big old boy from Austin, Texas, the son of a plumber, you know, my old man was a plumber, and all he knew was plumbing. He was the best at what he did. Well, Dusty Rhodes is the best at what he did, bar none. Bar none. And for 3 or 4 weeks that have went by, I have taken an oath of silence and have not speak. And I want to apologize to my many fans because that's not the way I am. The mental agony, the mental strain, the mental anguish that I went through is over now. I've got that out of my mind. My thing now is coming back, working my way back, getting myself back ready for what I got to do. And I'm telling you what, I might have 1,000 great matches left in me, Bill Apter. Or I might have.
Hey, you got something to say to me? Forget about Bill Apter. You got something to say to me?
I might have that one super match. And that one there, baby, is what Dusty Rhodes coming back for. And sitting here with Ric Flair, it doesn't bother me at all because I know me sitting here and him sitting there, the cheap shot artist that you are, kid, you can't jump through the screen and get me from where you're at right now.
Dusty, the one question that the fans want to know is, will you ever be able to wrestle again?
Just like I said.
Yeah, let's hear this up front. Why don't you address this to me, Dusty Rhodes? I'm the host of this program. If you got something to say it to me. Forget about Bill Apter.
Well, you know, in years past, Ric Flair would have said it to you, but after losing the amount of respect that I have for you and the amount of respect that the people across this country have for you as an athlete and anything else, it doesn't really matter. I'll address this to you, and I'll tell you one time, just like everybody has a cutoff date in this life, brother. I am the American Dream. I live the American Dream, Ric Flair. From day one, I don't have to wear the Ralph Lauren suits and wear the Rolex watches and pretend that I'm somebody that I ain't. And that's all you're doing is pretending. Now, I used to really believe in you, kid, but now you're pretending. So I'm going to give you something to pretend about. Pretend that I'm not coming back. But mark it down in your book, brother. I'm on a time schedule. And Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, is coming back 100%. And this is just a little bit different. All the ha-ha and the glamour and all the wristwatches and all the suits you wear cannot save you now from Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. So you can talk all you want here about Dusty Rhodes. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's a medical impossibility. And I've taken pride in the fact that it's a medical impossibility for you to ever perform the level you used to perform at, if perform at all, is advised in a professional wrestling ring. You're done. My hands are washed of you and your claim to the World Heavyweight Championship.
Let me say this one thing, Flair. My hands are clean of this situation. I heard one man that night that stuck in my craw more than anything in the world. Standing at ringside when they canned me out, and he said, Dusty Rhodes, you're too good. You're too nice. You got what you deserve, baby. Well, that's fine. That stuck right in my craw. I got what I deserve. Let me tell you something, Ric Flair, and you put this down, and you think about it, and you remember this. Ric Flair, I have no respect for you as a world champion. I have no respect for you as an athlete. I have no respect for you as a human being. You are a farce. You are a phony. You are a has-been. You are not. You are a pretender in a great athletic sport that you're in. And Dusty Rhodes tells it.
Nobody's going to talk to me like this on my program.
You're a pretender.
I don't care what you got to say to the world, Dusty Rhodes. You keep in mind that I put you where you're sitting right now with your leg on that table, all wrapped up in a big white cast.
We'll see you on Scouting Reports next week.
The world champion, nobody else. And Bill, after you remind me of that, where I've gone.
One of the greatest feuds of all time.
Yes, definitely one of the best. One of the and the promos were great, like going back and forth. Yeah. But the match itself was money.
Oh,
it was just money. Like, I just yeah.
All right, so let's go over one more promo. Do you have anything in mind?
Anything John Cena back in the Doctor of Thugonomics.
I may not have that, but I do have this.
Sorry to interrupt, but I had to come out here right this second. Because I've been waiting for this moment for a year. And you don't even know why. You can't know why, because you're Dwayne Johnson. You are Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The man conquered the WWE during the Attitude Era. The man left and conquered Hollywood. The man has returned to the WWE, conquered it again. Hell, you are the WWE champion. You don't fail at anything in life, so you don't know what it feels like to tell the world, to tell the people you care about, that you have to do something and then fail. Last year at WrestleMania, I told every single person who would listen, especially those very close to me, that I needed that match, that I needed to win that match, and I failed. That moment, that match at WrestleMania wasn't just a loss to The Rock. That match, that moment sent my life into a tailspin. You don't believe me? Go back, check the timeline. Right after WrestleMania, you want to talk about something that sucked? It happened to me, both professionally and personally, because I could not get over my obsession with the fact that I failed. I couldn't jump over that hurdle with the fact that I told these people I was going to get it done, and I didn't. I get a chance to rewrite history. This is more than just a match for me. This is a shot at redemption. You realize how many people don't even get a first chance? I get a second chance. I have been gifted a second chance to right the biggest wrong of my life, so I just came out here to give you a 34-day heads up. I am not throwing this chance away.
As much as it matters to you, John, it matters so much more to me. When my music hits and I walk down that ramp and I step in this ring and I connect with every single person in this arena from top to bottom and all the way around, and connect to everyone at home, every man, woman, and child, our connection, our bond, our strength, John Cena, it matters to me. So you get something straight right now. In 34 days at WrestleMania, you ain't getting redemption, Jack. You're getting your ass kicked.
Mike Tyson was once quoted for saying, "I'm gonna eat his children." It's sad we actually remember Mike Tyson for that, because Mike Tyson is responsible for one of the most powerful quotes I have ever heard. And every time I hear it, it reminds me of you. Tyson, in his prime, was once quoted as saying, in order to be the greatest that ever lived, you have to beat everyone living. I have accomplished every single goal. I have jumped every roadblock in my entire career, except for you. At WrestleMania 29, your time is up. My time is now.
Your time is now. My time is up. No. Rock's time is just getting started. You want to quote famous athletes? Well, I got a quote for you. I got a quote for you from a famous athlete, and it goes like this. Winning is about heart. You just got to have it in the right place. The man who said that quote, Lance Armstrong, he was full of crap, and so are you.
Unbelievable confidence. That confidence in your eyes, I had that a year ago. Listen, in 34 days, history will not repeat itself. I make history. In 34 days, at WrestleMania 29, I will become the WWE champion.
You just crystallized everything that is The Rock and John Cena right here. I tell you in front of the world, because we're live. John Cena, that's the biggest difference between you and me. You think you can beat me? I know I can beat you. And at WrestleMania 29, in front of the world, I will beat you
again.
Again. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
It needs to happen a third time. John Cena.
That was fucking awesome. That was fucking awesome.
I loved that promo, that match. I loved both.
Oh, John Cena Thugonomics.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh my God. The original John Cena, Dr. Thugonomics, best moments.
Here we go.
It's time for John Cena to step up and break through.
I fucking love the Dr. Thugonomics.
The old man's got a plan. He's chilling in the building. Did I tell you I'm like light beer? I taste great and I'm less filling.
You hate me because I'm white? That's reverse discrimination. I hate you for 2 words: illegal immigration.
Hey, Brock Lesnar, here comes the pain. God built me strong. Forget to give me brain.
You want to see a thug? Turn around and take a look. You're just another dude who came up short from Red Hook.
So now I wrestle Mr. Ass, the dude who likes to suck it.
Ha!
Tori's a cover-up, bro. We know you take it in the bucket.
I'm gonna hang your ass.
Oh!
Like a Christmas tree ornament. I'll whack you more times than a masturbation tournament.
We'll squash Mr. America. Vinnie Mac, please pick me. I'll change him back to the Hulk so quick you think his name was Bill Bixby.
You got no hydraulics in your car. You got a sexual sickness. His car bounces up and down because he sits on the stick shift.
Word life.
This is basic thugonomics. This is basic thugonomics.
Word life.
Still good for two things, and one is being a waste of space. The other's being a perfect partner in a three-legged race. I'm way better than Dead Man. You just another sucker. You think he's beating John Cena? You's a stupid mother. This battle was over way before it even started. You against me? That's totally retarded. Thought he was funny with his midget that he couldn't take his hands off. You want to see a real joke? Have Kurt Angle take his pants off. You in danger. You from Tampa, I'm from Boston. New law enforcement, like the Four Horsemen. You hop around all day like there's potatoes in your crack. That's a nice tattoo of your mother on your back. Could you repeat that last line? I didn't really get that. I just heard you heavy breathing, dude, and choking on your neck fat.
Wow.
Word life. I'm untouchable, but I'm forcing you to feel me. Word life. This is basic thuggin'.
I heard rumors about you, dog. You used to hit on men often. Our two-way Paul Bearer said you shared the same coffin. He's the king of New York. I'm a kid from the cellar. Only way he stays hard is by rocking another fella. John Cena survive alone. I don't need no freaking stable. I wonder if I could trade in my 4 partners for a one-night stand with Sable. She's only with you for the money, Holmes. When she's done stealing from you, she comes to tickle my funny bones. He claims intelligence. That's impossible. His head is hollow. His t-shirt used to say you suck, but they had to switch it because he swallows. So I'm past you, little rascal. You and your kitty tricks. You want to spank something? Dude, go home. Spank on you. Funaki-san, reconsider. I'm more than you can handle, bro. I'll cut your two-tone mullet and kick you dead in the camel toe. We handed out a special. 2 for 1 black eyes. It's like a mafia movie. I have you cheering the bad guys. You're the poster child for the birth control pill. You go down quicker than a hoe for a $5 bill. They talk about their ice and all the girls loving you. The only bush he see is by watching George W. I bet you fans think Rhino's gonna give me the gore. I'll beat his ass so sore, it's like he did a prison tour.
Two-faced rappers walk away with 4 shiners. The raw rhymer, turning legends to old timers. My incisors like a viper biting through your one-liners. New Dead Man Inc., and we about to make you famous. Taking over Earth and still kicking in Uranus.
Yo, it's either that, or you rocking some phony pits. You just a fat slob with hairy baloney tits. You and Sable fighting? That's good for my health. Just something about you makes me keep in touch with myself. And then at Judgment Day, you can throw away that patriotic masked man. Don't recycle Hulkamania. Throw it in the trash can. And they're so light in the pants, they should be transvestites. I got more hits on the mic than free porno websites. I'm a Jedi Knight. I was a stunt double for Anakin. I fight with my lightsaber. His is for backdoor shenanigans. Yo, it's John Cena. Thugonomics hot as hell. He's just a bad idea. Like the XFL. I'm just a punk. Pissing off more people than prank calls. Hope you got your 3 eyes, Kurt, because you got no balls. Oh, you didn't get that? Let me rewind it for you. Hope you got your 3 eyes, Kurt, because you got no balls. Can't handle the truth, Billy. You'd rather feel up Chuck. You don't want to wrestle with me. All you want is to... Yo. This is Thugonomics. I excel beyond sports. He rocks a horn on his head. I rock a horn in my shorts. See, we got something in common, Zach, but I can pull off the trick. I got one leg. I don't need a fake. I put a boot on mine.
I'm gonna prove the big dog is all bark. I'm gonna claim my territory. Piss right on the mark.
You wanna blackball me? Well, at least I got a ball sack. If they lived at the sperm bank, they couldn't get their comeback. And you're good for one thing.
Oh.
She taught you how to suck. John Cena's untouchable. You just a stupid. You need to hit them sit-ups too. You're not exactly the leanest. Forget seeing me, bro. You can't see your own penis. And when God was handing out brains, it's obvious you didn't get none. I'm usually throwing up 2 fingers, but you're special. You only get 1. Had the whole crowd chanting, Cena sucks. You think I do? Well, F you, cause I just don't give up.
Word life. Word life. This is basic thugonomics.
John Cena is a
Fucking love thugonomics, John Cena.
John
I
Cena
literally,
is a talented man. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen,
I actually have a John Cena figure. It's a you can't see me, but
Yeah.
I just had to get one. I just had to have a John Cena figure. I can't find a Doctor of Thugonomics one because I don't think they were making.
back in like 2005 or 6, me and my buddy Ozzy, we used to go get Kansas City Chiefs jerseys and jorts, and we got chains with padlocks. We put our hat on backwards. We tried to freestyle rap because we love John Cena. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have for tonight. I need to get to bed. I have to get on a schedule to start working early in the morning. Liana's got things to do in the morning. We're going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys being here for another episode, and we will see you guys next time.